You were so deep right there. I just didn't want to startle you. So I hope I was gentle enough.
You were, totally.
So you're making a beautiful little cylinder there. And I don't know why it's beautiful, but it is. How do you know? How do you know it's a good pot? How do you know? When do you know?
Okay, 2 questions. How do you know it's a good pot, and when do you know it's a good pot? The most important part of the pot is the inside of the pot. I mean, after all, it's holding the ice cream.
Yeah, we argue about this too. Gelato.
Gelato. You know, I have to give that one to you. Gelato. The empty space inside of the vessel is the most important place of the entire vessel. The outside of the vessel is skin surrounding, the clay is skin surrounding and defining interior space. That is success. When you've made the inside of the pot well, and it's going to hold the gelato. I mean, really, let's face it. And when do you know that it's a good pot? That's going to vary in how much experience and how much practice you put in to the wheel, because we're going to talk about the wheel at the moment. The wheel is only a tool to get you to another place. That's all it is. It's a hammer. You got to learn how to use it, and you learn it by trying and by doing. When the outside of the pot defines the inside space, not the outside of the pot being laden with a million glazes, and that could be gorgeous, it could be beautiful to look at. That doesn't make a good pot. What makes a good pot is the inside and the outside working like the bass in a bassist and a drummer in a band. That is the soul and the beauty and the rhythm and the vibrance of a pot. I like to tell students, and I do it myself when I'm being absent-minded in my own studio, if there's a bowl or something that I've made at the top shelf and I can't see inside the pot, and you know what, I'm lucky enough to have somebody come over and all I have is half a cup of tuna fish. I need to reach up there, get a pot that's going to show off a half a cup of tuna fish, not something for 3 cups that I put a half a cup in, half a cup of tuna fish, because that is my presentation. It's a service. I am serving. You don't get much more divine than service in any way.
I love that.
Let's make it absolutely beautiful. Now, let's say you're making a mug. Your rim needs to fit into such a sensitive area of our bodies. It needs to pour the liquid into our mouths, for goodness sake. We need to do that. We're potters. We can do that. There are various tools. You can use a chamois. You can use a little piece of plastic. I like to use this area right in my hand. Not that this was ready for this yet, but we'll do it. And I'm going to make this go out ever so slightly.
The light is hitting that rim so beautifully right now. It's so perfect.
Rachel's a professional photographer. She knows what she's talking about. Okay.
Oy vey.
This rim, I want to put my hands around this. I want to bring it to my lips. I want to drink out of it because you know what? That hot chocolate in there, man, it's the best. It's the best. So that function, form follows function, is a really good thing to remember. The inside of the pot is the most important thing that you can remember. I think that a lot of it has to do with having bodies. We have these defining bodies around our, lack of a better word, kishkas. You know, we got this stuff inside. Sorry, but I always say Yiddish. The stuff inside that's mushy and movable, except for our you could call our bodies maybe the glaze, the surface decoration that's sitting on top of our bony structure, the clay that's holding our beautiful insides that work and do well for each other. It is, I think, a very apt metaphor for making vessels.
You know what I love?
What?
I just want to add to this part is when someone tells me that they say, you know what, I drink out of the mug you gave me every morning and I think of you, it's like when I'm having coffee with you. That gives me such a warm feeling. It just makes me feel so happy, and I think that has to do also with that inside vessel. Like that vessel is also holding friendships and relationships. And
yes, I love that. Yes, 100%. It's holding a lot. It's very important.
And tuna fish.
And
Okay.